Hey guys, it's Britt. Long time no talk, right? Oh, guys, I missed you. Last week was a crazy, crazy week for me. We moved my little brother into his dorm, and he's a freshman, and this is his first time away from home. It was kind of hard to say goodbye, but just because online classes work for me doesn't mean they work for everybody. And we went on vacation after we dropped him off. My family and I went to Wildwood. And I went to a bookstore. Hooked on books. I originally went in there hoping to pick up a physical copy of The Savage Song, but it was a used bookstore, so it was... I didn't know it was a used bookstore originally. I just saw it and I wanted to go in, so I didn't wind up getting This Savage Song, but I'm gonna order it on Amazon. And I got a few books while I was there. If you want to go, it is 3400 Oak on Pacific Ave in Wildwood, New Jersey. Okay, so I got Fight Club because Peter Likes Books is doing a read-along class. He calls it a class. I'm going to call it a class for all of Chuck Palahniuk's books. And I'm not a fan of this cover, but it was the only Chuck Palahniuk book they had, and this is the first book that we're starting with. So I picked that up. And I also got Neil Gaiman's The Ocean at the End of the Lane. Yeah, I love Neil Gaiman. I've read this book twice now, I think, but I don't own a copy. I usually just check it out. My library has a really good selection of Neil Gaiman's novels, and I usually just check it out of the library, but he gave me this for $3, so I couldn't pass it up. And usually I go for hardcovers, but it was a used bookstore, so I didn't have much of a choice. I also was really hoping to pick up hardcover versions of Game of Thrones, the Song of Ice and Fire series, but they only had the mass market paperbacks, and that's really hard for me to pick up. I also got Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Jesse the Reader raves about this book, and I'm not all for creepy books, but I thought this would be a nice book to try because I hear a lot of people talk about this, and I wanted to check it out for myself. So I'm gonna read this in October, and I will read all the backs for you guys, so you guys can get an accurate summary. And I will start with this one because it's my favorite. I don't know if you guys can hear the ringing of the phone in the background, but sorry if you can hear that. A middle-aged man returns to his childhood home to attend a funeral. Although the house he lived in is long gone, he is drawn to the farm at the end of the road, where, when he was 7, he encountered a most remarkable girl, Letty Hempstock, and her mother and grandmother. He hasn't thought of Laddie in decades, and yet he sits by the pond, a pond that she'd claimed was an ocean. Behind the ramshack old farmhouse where she once lived, the unremembered past comes flooding back. And it is a past too strange, too frightening, too dangerous to have happened to anyone, let alone a small boy. Yeah, that's Neil Gaiman's An Ocean at the End of the Lane. And, okay, next is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. A mysterious island, an abandoned orphanage, a strange collection of peculiar photographs. It all waits to be discovered in Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. An unforgettable novel that mixes fiction and photography in a thrilling reading experience. As our story opens, a horrific family tragedy sets 16-year-old Jacob journeying to a remote island off the coast of Wales, where he discovers the crumbling ruins of Miss Peregrine's home for peculiar children. As Jacob explores its decaying bedrooms and hallways, it becomes clear that Miss Peregrine's children were more than just peculiar. They may have been dangerous. They have been quarantined on a deserted island for a good reason. And somehow, possible though it seems, they may still be alive. Okay, that sounds really good. And finally, Fight Club. You guys all probably know what this is about, but I'll read it anyway. Chuck Palahniuk's darkly funny first novel tells the story of a godforsaken young man who discovers that his rage at living in a world filled with failure and lies cannot be pacified by an empty consumer culture. Relief for him and his disenfranchised peers comes in the form of secret after-hours boxing matches held in the basements of bars. Fight Club is the brainchild of Tyler Durden, who thinks he has found a way for himself and his friends to live beyond their confining and stultifying lives. But in Tyler's world, there are no rules, no limits, no breaks. An underground classic since its first publication in 1996, Fight Club is now recognized as one of the most original and provocative novels published in the last decade. An insightful new introduction, the author discusses why the story will resonate with the readers now more than ever. Okay, and I'm going to do 2 videos today. Guys, I'm really excited. I'm glad to be back. And I'm really excited. Do you guys like my new setup? I switched to my iPhone earbuds from my toner mic because I just think that, this toner mic really isn't picking up my voice, and I'm going to save up for a better microphone, I promise, but that's going to take some time. So, yeah, guys, I'm going to make another video for Peter from Peter Likes Books because I'm sending him things. And I want to share that with you guys too, because it's kind of personal. But I'll explain more in the next video. Alright, until then guys. See you later. Love you. Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, because it makes my day. Alright. Love you. Bye.